Hi everybody, welcome back to Darlingborough Model Railway. I'm Richard. Now, in last week's video, I finally did it. I finally managed to get some track down, got a loop up and running, and actually had a nice running session. Had the trains running back and forth, and it was really refreshing just to actually see trains and movement going on in the shed. It's taken me such a long time to get there. It was nice to kind of finally see it starting to come together. Since then, I've kind of decided that I want to continue working on the track. I think the first option is to get the inner loop going, and then look at connecting from this side here across to the shunting yard through the industrial area. Now, I have got some track that I am using at the moment. Not all of it is in pristine condition. Some of it is like quite old points, quite old track, but I'm just basically having to make do with what I've got at the moment until I can just basically kind of save up a bit of money and kind of get to replace some of the more worn track with kind of new stuff, which is always going to be my plan eventually. In the meantime, I'm just going to plug away. I'm just going to sort of kind of lay track. I've kind of got an idea what I'm doing with the shunting yard at the moment, but based on the sort of track that I've actually got, I'm just kind of putting it together as best as I can at the moment. So what I am doing, however, is I am looking at cleaning some of this track because some of it's not in the best of conditions. Now, there are quite a few different ways that I've seen people recommend cleaning track. So I'm going to have a go at cleaning just a little bit, just to see how I get on. I found a diamond crossing that I had in my collection. It was a piece of Hornby track. Unfortunately, it was not in the best condition. It was showing signs of rust and just general degradation, really. I needed to use this piece of track so I can get the trains from the outside line onto the industrial area and onto the shunting yard. So I thought that before I installed it, I would try and recondition the track. Now, I've read various methods on how to clean points and track, so I thought I'd try my own. To start with, I used my rotary tool and a soft polishing brush. I didn't want to use anything too abrasive because I didn't want to tear gouges into the track. I gave this a good polish, but after a few minutes I realised it really wasn't doing anything. So I found a little bit of 100 grit sandpaper. All I wanted to do was just scrape the top layer of gunk off the track. So I did not use any pressure when sanding down on the track. This seemed to clean it really, really nicely, and I ended up with nice, shiny, almost new looking track. In order to clean any residue off, I gave the track a quick spray with isopropanol, let it sit for a few minutes, and then wipe it off using a cloth. The track looks a lot better, and I'm hoping that the running on this diamond crossing will have improved from what it was before. So it would be interesting to know how you clean your track as well. By all means, please leave a comment down below or send me a message using one of the various contact methods there. If you are enjoying the video so far, by all means, please just click on the like button as well. It just helps other people discover my videos as well, so I do appreciate it. Now, I don't know about you guys, but I seem to find that sometimes when you're working with FlexiTrack, the rails seem to slide out of the plastic track bed. Now, I'm not sure if there is a specific way that this is supposed to be put back, but what I tend to do is just gently slide the rails into the track, one sleeper at a time, and just gently work your way along the rail until all of the rail is back on the track. As long as there's a clip, you should be able to get the track back in fairly easily. I find that by pushing down and clipping the track on from above tends to damage the little clips on the sleepers, so try and avoid doing that. I just want to say a big thank you to Andy Russell, who commented on my video last week. He suggested that when I'm cutting the track, rather than filing the ends off, just to use my rotary tool and the diamond disc just to smooth it off. Do you know what, Andy? It's such an obvious idea. I didn't even think of it. So thank you very, very much for pointing that out to me. I have just done that, and you're right, it's a lot quicker and a lot easier than messing around with a file. So thanks very much for that. Now, I've also had some feedback regarding the controller. I mentioned that I had the basic Hornby controller last week. I've seen a lot of people talking about it, and not a lot of people recommend it because it's very basic. It does have a cut-off as well, so that if there is a short, it will cut off. Sounds great in theory, but practically it's actually a bit of a pain in the backside, as I found out last week. Here's a clip. Now, I've noticed after the derailment there, although it's plugged in, the Hornby controller isn't working. So what you have to do with these, you have to excuse the wobbly cam because I'm just in one hand. Unplug it, reset your train. It's back on. Make sure that the points are now going straight, and hopefully 30 seconds or a minute later, it's back up and running. So I'd like to just say a quick thank you to several people who have actually got in touch with me since last week. Now, they've given me quite a few recommendations for different controllers to either use or to avoid. By far, probably the most recommended one that I've received information about is the Duet controller. Although it's quite an old controller, apparently it is very, very sturdy, they're very well built, and they're basically designed just to last forever. So even buying a second-hand one wouldn't be an issue at this stage, which is something I'm actually looking into. I did get a few people recommending I avoid Hornby controllers in general because apparently they're not very good. So thank you very much for all of the comments and suggestions. I am looking into obviously changing controllers as I go as well, so hopefully that'll be in a future video when I get rid of that one and finally get round to upgrading the controller. Now, one of the things I've noticed is when I switch the locos from a class 58 to my little Blue Diamond, the running of it is terrible, if I'm honest. I've noticed that the wheels have quite a lot of play on them, and I'm wondering, is it supposed to be like that, or are they supposed to be more secure? It's the first model I've ever had. It came as part of the Hornby Devon Flyer set. I'll be honest, I've never kind of given it much thought. I've never really kind of given any kind of love or attention, if I'm honest. It's never really ran very well, and I'm just wondering if there's anything I can do to improve the running of this. It just splutters and it seems to stop halfway around the track for no reason at all. There's still power going to the track. I've cleaned the wheels. I've given both the front and the back of the wheels a good clean. But it seems to be almost as if the train just doesn't sit on the tracks properly. And I'm wondering if that's down to just a design. Is it maybe I've got a faulty one? Is it needing a service? Let me know in the comments below. I would appreciate any kind of feedback regarding it, if anyone has any. Are you happy with it? Are you not happy with it? If I got one that's a model that's just absolute rubbish, needs to go in the bin. Not that I would, but you know. Please let me know, and as I say, be interesting to know your thoughts on the little Blue Diamond from the Devon Flyer, the Hornby set.